These niggas, I'm good. Hey, sit down. These niggas gonna move. They ain't sitting here. They ain't gonna run nobody off the fucking dock. Sit down. Sit down. We ain't moving.
Yo, what's up? I'm right here.
I know my wife though.
What's up?
I know this is my wife. Somebody gonna say, excuse me, stop.
What's up?
I know you gonna help me. Me too.
I can't. Now, a couple different things here. First things first, it looks like he is trying to defend his wife, but second things is that it doesn't matter how big you are, it don't matter how tough you are. Everybody can be touched, and everybody can be touched by multiple people, and everybody can be touched before and after. So I understand him defending his wife and all of that, but for me personally, I just try to find myself in which I avoid certain environments and situations. And it's unfortunate that we've gotten to the point, and I'm not talking about Steven Jackson, I'm talking about whoever it is, because obviously whoever is here is not even supposed to be down there in the first place. The first thing that I heard Steven Jackson say, let me rewind it really quickly. Let me back it up real quick, see if I can get something. Back his channel. He said these dudes finna move. Y'all ain't sitting here. Y'all don't sit here. And I think that's Wallow's jacket right there in the back and all of that. And I kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday as far as like, you know, people that have more visibility and fame. And I kind of did a little bit more research, and it all started off apparently with Meek Mill going back and forth with a boxer about, you know, who they were going for. I know Meek was going for Gervonta Davis, and they had to literally stop a main event during the recording, live streaming, and you know, showing of the fight. And all of this was happening live. All of this was happening live. So of course you're gonna find the most thugging and the gangsterish, and it's a bunch of people around. And Steven Jackson is like 6'9", 6'10", and he's over there. You know, he's tucking his jewelry, and he's about to get into a scrap and all of that. And honestly, and this is just from me, I thought that we got money so that we could raise our standards and then align ourselves with other people that's going in the direction that we're going in order to be able to enjoy life, not still deal with the same nonsense that we was dealing with when we was in the hood. What's the point of having money if you're going to still run into the same people in the same situation, even when you have resources and things like that?
Nobody off the fucking dock. Sit down. Sit down.
And ain't nobody even stunting.
Yo, what's up? I'm right here.
I know my wife though.
What's up?
I know this is my wife. Somebody gonna say, excuse me, stop.
What's up?
I know you gonna help me. Me too. Yeah, shit. But stepping on my wife is not option.
Took care of business. Boots took care of business. Tank did what he was supposed to do. So it was a great night of boxing. Shout out to Meek Mill though. Meek Mill.
Once you get to a space where you start having gray in your beard, you fully outgrown any of the thug stuff. So, yeah, you protect your wife, but I always try to put myself in the shoes of the people that's going through it. Now, I understand it's probably a lot of adrenaline. Also, again, respect him for defending his wife, but I could do it without even talking. Like, yo, once I seen certain things start to happen, let me back all the way up. I contemplate going to a fight, right? I've contemplated going to, because I haven't been to a fight. Actually, I went to a local fight here in Michigan down at Motor City Casino. But I haven't been to an international fight, a national fight since Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao when we were out in Vegas, right? But I've wanted to go to see Tank Davis because I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing. I love going to the big fights. And, you know, I've gotten to a space now, probably over the last, 6-7 years, to where I've been able to really be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor and have access to the best seats, the best situations, so on and so forth, right? And so when I see stuff like this happening, it gives me pause. Like I'm pausing immediately because I don't even want to put myself. The best form of protection is not to be associated with it in the first place. If you can kind of sniff out and spot the situation that is going to play out, or the characters that's going to be there or whatever. And I remember back when I used to watch on TV the Mike Tyson fights and stuff like that, and you would see all of the stars and stuff like that in the front. They wasn't. It was different than this. It wasn't this. Like the dudes that had money, that was spending money, it wasn't like this. It was something else. It was just an entirely different situation. It was an entirely different vibe. It wasn't the possibility of nothing, no scraps breaking out in the audience and nothing like that. This is a different type of black folk that got money now, man. And I don't want to be associated with
They're
it.
solid. Anybody from the DMV area, Baltimore, Maryland, Virginia, and you rooting against Tank, that's kind of hard to accept, man. It's a youngster from y'all area that's doing something big, that's selling out arenas every fight night. How could you hate on that? How can you? Meek stood tall. Meek stood tall because there was no reason for anybody to be from this area to be hating on Tank when he's doing something great. You know what I'm saying? One of us. So shout out Meek for standing tall, man. It was a great night.
What is Meek standing tall about? Like, I'm not about to be in person getting into it with another boxer. I'm not in person trying to get into it with nobody. If it gets to the point to where it starts to turn into a confrontation, I'm not even talking no more. Either I'm gonna find myself removing myself from the situation in order to protect myself, whoever is with me, and then whoever it is that I'm getting in a confrontation with. Because there's nothing wrong with walking away. Listen, when you get to a certain point in life, you realize that you got a lot more to live for, and your value on this earth is much bigger than whatever confrontation that you may run into. It's easy to say whatever, so on and so forth, but don't nobody even scrap no more. It ain't even about that. People are shooting. People are finding you afterwards. They running in people's houses. You know what I'm saying? I heard that, man, even Eminem's house got ran up in here in Michigan. And then I heard that somebody's house got broken into when they was out of town. Nas' house got broken into and stuff like that. And at this point, it just seems like nobody is untouchable and nobody is beyond finding themselves in a situation. So you just got to move accordingly, and you got to be preventative and proactive before you even get yourself in these situations. I can't, man. Like, I would really, really like to go to the Tank Davis fight coming up in April. I'm just not sure that I can find myself in a certain environment unless I'm somewhere else protected, over in some kind of booth. You know, if you ever been to a boxing match, it's all just one big arena. It's not like you can get a suite like you can go to a basketball game or a football game or something like that. It's just different. But let me know what y'all think. How would y'all move? My thing is, once you start getting gray in your hair and your beard, you got to start moving a little bit differently. I think that everybody should be moving differently anyway, but especially when you become an older dude and an OG. It's like the 30 and the 40 and the 50-year-olds is acting just like the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. But let me know what y'all thoughts are. I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. And I'm going to get you scheduled for a Zoom call or a personal call. And then last but not least, make sure y'all tap into the Alpha Juice Company. That link is in the description with all of the discount codes in order to be able to go in the direction that we going in. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.